TikTok and YouTube, because we'll drop this over there too. So I hope all of you artisans are having a beautiful, beautiful day. Now I will tell you, we finally have some sun here today. And so I wanted to jump on, just kind of break up my day a little bit, because I'm working on some projects and I want to share them with you. Now last week, I don't know if some of you may remember, or if you were with us, we started a mini wall hanging, and we laid it out in the Kiwandi Inspired design method of building. Okay, so today so one of the artisans was saying, hey Carmella, you got to show us how to do the back part of that. So in between that video and this video today, I did a video on the art exhibit that I was in, and I am very grateful. I sold one of my polar bears over there, and so I want to share with you today, because of my gratefulness, I am making a second saddle blanket for that polar bear that the customer bought, and I'm going to do the little buckles with it, because that's the prototype, the first type of saddle blanket I made. So I'm going to show you what I mean in a minute. And I'll have to sip this, and thank you so much for being with me today. So I'll just show you first what I'm working on, because this isn't what we're going to go into detail on. However, this is the bear. This is one of my bears. I put this on to give it a little stability, although if it's on a rug or something like this, it can stand on its own. So this is one of my needle felted bears. Now my bears all have personalities. Their faces are a little bit different. I don't do the cookie cutter. I don't cut out in cardboard and measure it exact and put it in the middle, or put armature and wire. I do it all freehand, and I do their faces freehand. So their bodies might be a little wider, might be narrow. Anyway, they all have their own little personality going on. And the statement with the polar bears, as you know, is that we really, in my opinion, need to be very conscious of our earth. We want to really focus and be mindful on what and how we are using our earth, right? And I really gravitate towards the landfills, because we've got more garbage going into the landfills than we can keep up with. And I do speak to you about that in my book. I say that there's more going in there than we can keep up with. And my idea is not novel necessarily, but maybe it's just not voiced a lot. But I know we're all thinking, well, why can't we make more jobs, more hubs, more businesses to alleviate the waste in the oceans and the landfills, so we can actually keep up with them? So to me, that would be an absolute miracle. That seriously, that we have the science to do it. People know how to do that. That can be done. However, so the polar bear is highly significant, because the environment that the polar bear lives in, as we know, is at risk. So I don't know. I belong to the Polar Bear Association. They send me newsletters saying how the scientists are really, really working on, different methods, different ways to ensure that the environment of the polar bear can be enhanced and saved as we go on through the years. So now with that, the polar bear is made with 100% wool. So there's no, like I said, there's no armatures, there's no fill, there's no plastic in the middle, there's no cardboard in the middle, 100%, so organic wool. Now, with that, what I do when I have my polar bears, as you know, up at the Guild. Right now, I just have one up there, and I had one on exhibit, and now I have two on exhibit, and one of those sold. So that one that sold, and this one's at home with me. So the one that's sold, I'm making a second, and I'm going to hold this up. It's still pinned, and I'm still working on it, but I'm making a second saddle blanket. So this is all scrap. Now you do see the threads kind of back and forth, but look how gorgeous that is. It's all thread. So I just put the pieces together. I'm just going to put it on the bear so you can see. Okay, so I put the pieces together. And the one that is, you can see on the video that we just did the other day, I'm just going to put my sewing needle over here. So, using Boro Inspired method, right? You just do the stacking method. And then if you go to the thrift shop, you can find rings. If you want to buy the metal rings, they're at Walmart. Very, very inexpensive, like $1 or $2. Now, what's going to go here on this blanket, because the artisan who bought the piece for me, she just adored the other bear too. She adored the blanket, and the blanket had like this. The blanket had buckles. These are from, you can see I cut these from an old thrift shop bag. And so what I do, in the ring, I had some extra rings. So this will come and hook up to that. That will hook up to that, you see. Get my hand out of the way, maybe you can see. And so it will go down like that. So the aesthetics, this, and I'm not done with this. This is pinned. But this right here, you see how adorable that is? So I made 2 pieces, and I made these pieces the same because each of these are going to go on either side, hanging from the clip with the thrift shop bag clip. And the piece that the artisan bought, so these will be a pocket, you see? See the back, and then I'm going to put another back to it, so it will be a pocket. So they can put the baby bears that I made that are in the pockets now of the saddle blanket that they have. So this is what I'm working on right now. It's very humble. It's all scrap fabrics, but it adds to the statement of my love and appreciation of our earth. So instead of going out there, and purchasing organic cottons, these are cottons that I got at the thrift shop. Now the layering of them may be very thin and they're not a high quality cotton, but they're cottons. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to put the bear over here, back over here. So I'm working on that saddle blanket. So that's that, and I wanted to just share. Now when I'm done with that saddle blanket, I'll show you, on my profile. Now I'm going to put the camera down on the table because we were working on this mini. So let me do this, and then I'll talk to you. I may have to sip some coffee as we go along. So we were working on this mini wall hanging, okay? And this is, if you look at this, so it's not done. I'm working, so I'm giving priority to the saddle blanket right now and get that done. I want to get that done. And then I'm going to come back around and complete my sewing of this Kiwandi Inspired mini wall hanging. However, the artist who was asking, well, how do you put the backing on? She's probably trying to work on this right now. So that's why I'm coming on here today, and I'm just going to show her a super simple method. So there's your backing. Now I'm not going to sew everything together. So this would be, from this piece for me, this would be my top part. You see the seam? I purposely left the seam so it shows. So that's the top part of the piece. So I cut out a piece of fabric that's just a little bit bigger than my Kiwandi Inspired piece I'm working on. I'm laying it down on the table with the pretty side onto the table. So what we're doing, and you sewists will understand this clearly, this is a back to back. So I'm just putting this like that. Now when I fold the back, I fold this. Okay, I just want to show you this for a moment. You see it's folded, see the fold? So you're just going to go around the whole piece and fold it so it's flush, because we'll just do a back to back. And you can do back to front if you want, which mean that we fold over. We would be folding that over, but I don't have enough of that to fold it twice, so I'm just going to do, that's why I'm doing back to back. So we're doing back to back. I'm just going to pin this and just show you, because I'm going to show the artisan and the other artisans who want to know how to do this. This is how simple it is. So see, I'm just going all around it, and you could do the top and the bottom simultaneously, or I mean first, and then the sides first. And I usually do it that way. If you go back and forth, that's probably okay. It just means that the folds here, there'll be different folds, that's all. But it's still all getting folded under. So it gets folded under like this. Whoops, you gotta hold it. I don't know if you can see. I'm folding it flush. And my pin is in the way. So I'm just going to hold that and fold it flush and then pin it. Okay, and then I'm coming to the other side here, you see? So this is what you call a back to back. So you have a backing. And I'll just tell you, some of you already know this, but some don't. I'll give you the little tip on how you make your little down, on how you make your mini wall hanging. Okay, so when you sew it, your running stitches will show in the back going around, which is inherent to the piece. That's fine. That's how it is. That's Shahiko stitching. However, because you would have already sewn this top piece, that is complete. Your top piece would be sewn, and then you're doing your back to back. You're giving it a backing. So then what you're going to do is sew at the very, very tippity top there, straight across. So in the back, you're going to have stitches straight across, but then you're going to leave a space. You're going to leave a space here. Okay, so your very tippity top is sewn, and then you're leaving a space for this, for your dowel. This is your dowel. Okay? That's your dowel. And you want that space so you can slide it through. So just kind of measure like a fingernail space, and then continue sewing the sides. And then the bottom you just sew straight across and not worry about a dowel. But that's how you do it. You're going to leave a space there to put your dowel. So when you put the dowel in, then you're going to come back around like this, see? See this piece, for example? And you're just going to tie, whether you're tying twine or whatnot. Now, here's the difference I want to show you. This one has no backing, okay? And I just sewed my pieces individually and then put it on, put that together. This one, I sewed my pieces individually on the top, on the base, and then I put a backing on it, and that's just an easy free-form machine stitch. But you see up here, I use my machine stitch to make a little space between the tippity top and then down here. That's all I did. So you can put the dowel in. So you understand that. You see that? Okay. So now if you have any questions, let me know. We will definitely come back around because there are events, appointments, super important things that I have behind the scenes. I'm not able to get this done in the timing that I wanted to with you. So that's why I'm coming on here and just showing the artisan that's how you do it. So I'm going to take this apart, and I just will talk about it one more time, just for the sake of clarity, and in case there is someone out there working on theirs. Okay, so again, all of these pieces that we laid out with our Kiwandi method last week are placed on a piece of denim. So this is called the base. This is the base. So this piece is not done, but we did start. You can see the Shahiko stitching. So this is a Kiwandi Inspired piece. So the stitching will go around and around and around, just like the shape of your square or rectangle, until you get to the center. So that's inspired. That's a Kiwandi Inspired way. So once you do all of your stitching and this piece is complete, then you get another piece. You get another piece of fabric, a little bit bigger, and you do just what we did. You're going to put it to the back of it, and you're going to put it flush. You're going to put it flush all around the sides. And if you want it to be a little, you want it to be like this, a little mini wall hanging, you stitch around towards the edge, all the way around, except at the top where you're going to put your dowel. And that's where you use a fingernail width to leave that space with no stitches. You don't want to close it up there. So you just go across the top, leave a space, and continue down. Okay, and if you go across like I did, just make sure you're leaving a space. So that's it pretty much. And it's just a little mini wall hanging. But I will come back around with you with this piece after I've completed the saddle blanket for this customer and get that to her. Then we'll come back around and you'll see the saddle blanket complete with the little pockets dangling with the buckles in between, and it will be super duper cutesy. So I'm finishing that up. I'm working on that today and probably finish it up by tomorrow. So, but it does take a little while. So when you're doing your Shahiko stitching, don't rush. So this piece is not done at all. So this is something I'm also stitching up today. And again, all scrap fabrics. So, if you're not like, I don't know about you, but we had Joanne Fabrics clothes up here, and people like the sewists who are used to buying their fabrics new, they're like, where am I going to get my fabrics? Well, there is, we do have what they call a Hobby Lobby store here. And I went in it for the first time. It's been up here now for a little while. But I went into it and I didn't realize they had fabric. So they have fabric. Walmart has fabric. Now, what's the difference between your choices? I'm not sure. But maybe it's a thinner layer. Maybe it's not the quality that you're looking for. Maybe you'll have to go online and look for the organic fabrics, or find a little shop around in your state or around, online that sells the organics. I do love working with a high quality organic fabric. If I can find it at the thrift shop, that's the way that I go. So anyway, when this is done, I'll come back on and I'll share the whole thing with you, and I'll share with you also the certificate of authenticity that I give with each of my pieces, because they are each original and done by me freehand, 100% with 100% wool and freeform needle felting by me, as is the Boro Shahiko blanket. So, and yeah, if there is any businesses out there who want a polar bear, like I said, each one is individual, it's original, it has its own personality, and that's how we roll. So anyway, with that, I hope everyone has a beautiful day. I just wanted to jump on here and share this, and for all the communities, and so that you can see how to do that mini wall hanging that we started last week, how to finish it. So with that, you have a beautiful day. You have any questions, let me know. If you're inspired to make the Boro Shahiko or the Kiwandi or whatever it is, let me know. Or you're thinking something else and you're like, Carmella, how would I begin this? I am more than happy to give you some tips and ideas. So with that, you have a beautiful day.